Who is the richest actor in America? What three things does Brad Pitt himself stand for? Stay tuned for more news on the luxury lives of celebrities. Hello dear friends. Only in Brad's case, women could watch movies not for the story but for the actor. Last year, it was reported that Brad Pitt, whose fortune is considered one of the highest in Hollywood, intends to stop acting. As the actor said, he does not want to compete with young talents. Besides, he would rather work on the other side of the camera. How much does Brad Pitt earn at different intervals? This is one of the most famous actors and also a favorite of women. He is also one of the highest paid people in Hollywood. His name alone in the credits guarantees the film a good gross. Pitt's annual earnings depend on the number of shoots, and he averages $40 million. The beginning of his career. Reading a celebrity biography is always interesting. I can't count how many of them became famous by accident. Let's not forget talent. But how did Brad do? He nurtured the idea of building a career in a film for a long time. He spent the money he earned on acting classes, and to pay for them he had to try out more than one specialty. First earnings. Brad had to work as a driver, a loader, and even a call girl, inviting guests to the restaurant dressed as a giant chicken. This is a clear example that if you have a dream, the main thing to do is go for it, despite the circumstances. He received his first serious film royalties for his role in Cutting Glass, which came out in 1988. It was only $12,000. Income growth. His royalties only grew over time, though not always. In 1991, for example, he was making $6,000 per set. In 2010, his annual income was $30 million. Brad's fortune in 2022. A few years ago, Forbes magazine announced the total wealth of Brad and Angelina, $500 million, of which $300 brought Pitt. Now the couple is divorced and each has taken their share of the fortune. As of 2021, taking into account the annual income and the share after the divorce, he has about $400 million. Main sources of income. Brad's main income is from film royalties, and he has no official salary. One of his most recent films is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Brad was paid $10 million to shoot it, which is slightly below his usual rate. Let's take a look at the actor's usual movie royalties. Devil's Own, 1997, $12 million. Fight Club, 1999, $17.5 million. Ocean's 11 France, 2001, $30 million. Troy, 2004, $17.5 million. Inglourious Basterds, 2009, $10 million. But movies are not alone, as they say. There were times in Pitt's life when he barely acted, but that didn't stop him from making $30 million a year. In 2012, he was the face of a Chanel No. 5 perfume advertisement. Viewers and critics did not appreciate the quality of the commercials much. Nevertheless, they brought him at least $7 million. Contracts with other advertising companies increased his fortune by at least $10 million. For example, in 2007, he promoted Heineken beer. In 2010, he promoted SoftBank Holding Company. Early in his career, he was the face of Levi's jeans and Pringles chips. Real estate. Even though it's been more than 3 years. For example, they wanted to give some of the houses to their children when they grow up, but they have never come to a common agreement. You can try to guess what goes to Brad and what goes to his wife. Brad Pitt can buy the best things, and that includes the home. The couple owns a vintage mansion in the French Quarter in New Orleans, which was built in 2007 for $3.5 million. They also have properties in other countries. For example, a mansion in the south of France, which consists of more than 30 bedrooms. Its value is about $60 million. Mansion in Italy is somewhat more modest. It has only 15 bedrooms, but the total area exceeds 5,000 square meters. Its value, $40 million. The building is not in the best condition, at least on the outside. The couple also has a $1,700,000 mansion in Los Angeles, a cottage in Santa Barbara, and a $4 million apartment in Berlin, and a €3.5 million home in Mallorca. Brad Pitt's cars were constantly changing. For example, when he was married to Jennifer Aniston, he was often seen driving a Dodge Ram, which now costs as much as $72,000. He is definitely partial to SUVs, He also has a Jeep Grand Cherokee in his garage, which costs about $30,000. Because Brad cares about the environment, he happens to have an electric car in his garage, the Tesla Model S. He was able to purchase it for $85,000. He also has the more powerful wheels, Chevrolet Camaro SS. Its cost can reach $70,000. Pete's most expensive purchase among cars is the Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon. It's another SUV costing $124,000. Comparison with other actors. Let's see how much other actors in Hollywood earn compared to Brad Pitt. For convenience, let's take his earnings for the year 2021. Dwayne Johnson, $89,400,000. Robert Downey Jr., $66 million. Adam Sandler, $57 million. Paul Rudd, $41 million. Brad Pitt, $40 million. Will Smith, $35 million. Brad's expenses. Brad Pitt belongs to the category of people who are not afraid to spend the money they earn. For example, back in 2000, he arranged a wedding with Jennifer Aniston for $1 million. This is even by today's standards a huge amount. For his wedding with Angelina Jolie, he built a wedding ring for $250,000. Now the main source of Brad's expenses is alimony. According to him, in recent years he spent more than $10 million on it, although Angelina insists that it's not money and accuses Pete of not paying her anything. I wish we didn't have to get paid like that. Charity or sabotage? In 2005, a powerful Hurricane Katrina hit the United States. Brad Pitt was so impressed by the devastation that he founded a charity called Make It Right. Since its inception, they have built more than 100 homes. However, in 2021, some people began to give up their homes and sue the foundation because of the poor quality of construction. People complained about the abundance of mold and mildew in the rooms. By the way, the houses were not free. The foundation was selling them for $100,000 to $130,000. Income of family members. Today, Brad is divorced, but you can look at the earnings of his former wife, Angelina Jolie. Her annual income is about $27 million, and her total fortune exceeds $200 million. Brad's three ugly deeds. While married to Jennifer Aniston, it was revealed that Brad was having an affair on the side with Angelina Jolie. It's unclear how long he planned to hide this away. Fans of Brad and Jennifer soon forgave him for cheating, because he was not involved in other scandals. After the breakup with Angelina, a bucket of dirt was poured on him. It turned out that he began to drink, does not know how to communicate with children, raises his voice at them, and even swings as if intending to hit. But all of these details came out of the ex-wife's mouth, so you should not blindly believe it, although the actor has admitted to a drinking problem. In 2017, an interview came out where he talked about the health problems that resulted from regular alcohol consumption. His fans were concerned about the condition of their idol and even thought he was seriously ill. Twice recognized as the sexiest man of the year, some people reproach Brad Pitt for his charity work, namely the poor construction of houses, but he did not personally do it, right? How many Oscars does Brad Pitt have? And other interesting facts. Brad Pitt was active in school. He participated in school amateur activities and was a member of the drama club. In high school, he tried to get on the basketball team, but they didn't take him. Then he made his own team and called his father as a coach. Many people will be surprised, but Brad wasn't even close to handsome in high school. He suffered from acne, which left scars on his face. He later got rid of them thanks to dermabrasion. Brad Pitt dropped out of university 2 weeks before his graduation. What an impatient man. In 2021, Brad Pitt finally wins an Oscar. This is the second one in his collection. He won the first one in 2014 for 12 Years a Slave. There's a restaurant in Moscow called Pete Brad. Brad's statements about his fortune. He treats his wealth with humor. During one interview, he said that he heard from a monk that the worst thing that can happen to a person is wealth, fame, and beauty. At the same time, Brad noted that in the case, he's up to his neck in shit. He has often said that what matters most to him is not his fortune, but his family and children. Brad Pitt is a truly talented man who has built an incredible career himself. His roles in movies are memorable and have made the actor a huge fortune. He may soon be gone from the big screens, but considering how much money Brad Pitt has made, he can now do whatever he wants. And who is your favorite actor?